I'm author Melissa May Younger, and I want to show you a little bit about what I'm doing to outline my nonfiction book on forgiveness. And hopefully this will help you, give you some ideas for how to outline your own nonfiction book. So basically what I'm doing is I've created some categories, and I've also said what I want in each category, and some questions that I've come up with that I'm plugging into the categories. And like, these are questions that people might ask about this topic. For example, what if I feel like I can't forgive? Is it wrong to forgive some people? Those types of questions. You can always do like a search and just see how, like, keywords and what people search for, the types of questions that people are interested in for your category, whatever you're doing, if you're doing a business book or if you're doing a Christian book like I'm doing, self-help book, whatever it is. And then here are my categories over here. I like to use Google Docs because you can do this. As soon as you make this heading 1, then it's gonna show up over here. So if I made this one, does forgiving mean forgetting? If I made that heading 2, then see, it shows up over here. Now, if I put it back to normal text, then it disappears, okay? So to get this thing to appear and disappear, you use this little thing over here, little doohickey, and then you can just create the categories that you want. Hopefully you've already created these while in your brainstorming process and research process. And so now I have all these bigger categories that I'm just gonna start plugging in all of my notes to. And now I have notes in several different places. I have notes in other documents, previous things that I thought would be outlines, and they turned into just notes. And then other kinds of notes and just like random thoughts that I wrote down. Here's all my questions that I've already started to plug in. And then, you know, I actually have some other people's articles that I just copied and pasted in here in case I want to draw upon something from their article, and then I can just cite it, and always cite your sources, right? And then, you know, I have some other like categories that I might want to touch on, and these would come under those categories that I've already created. So it's just a lot of random notes and information I've gathered. I also have a lot of notes in notebooks, such as this one right here, okay? And so I'm going to bring all of that stuff into this outline and try to fit it under one of these broader categories. So I gave myself enough different categories that all of the stuff that's important that I've been looking at should fit under one of these, you know, forgiveness and different types of sin, forgiveness and repentance, forgiveness and anger, forgiveness and compassion, forgiveness and conflict resolution. Some of these I'll have to do more research because I really haven't, and please excuse my son's toys and potty in the background because I'm potty training right now. And so here are all the categories, and basically what I'm gonna do from here is I'm going to start making my chapters, and these are not all going to turn into chapters. Some of these will probably merge to form a chapter. I'll notice similarities between the topics. The way that I came up with these topics, like I said, it was just in the research process that I was like, you know, these things came up. I've done a long research process. I've been researching this topic for over a year, and so I've really gone deep in it, and I've done a lot of reading, and I've looked at a lot of different resources, and I've read other books in this topic. And I would recommend, if you are writing a nonfiction book, that you would do the same in the brainstorming and research process, that you just kind of gather tons and tons of information. And if you already have some of those categories, or you've already, like, some people are really cool and they, like, their brain just organizes things like from the get-go. That's awesome. Like, go for it. As early on as you can organize, do it. but mine does not work that way. I'm kind of like random thought, like train of thought person. So I'll be like talking about this thing over here and then that thing and then that thing. And so it really helps me if I can just, in the early stages, just like get out all my thoughts, and I'll put research in different places. And then I'm gonna bring all of those sources together into one big outline, and then I can condense the outline down to make the chapters that I want for my book. So I hope that's helpful to you. And if you want to know anything else about the outlining process, then please ask your questions. If you want to know anything else about fiction, nonfiction books, anything like that, I'm game for it if you are. So thank you, and God bless.